Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share a story from the book of Genesis, chapter 40. It's a story about dreams. It's a story about kindness and the ups and downs of life. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating chapter. In this chapter, we meet Joseph, a young man who had faced many challenges in his life. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers and ended up in Egypt, far from his family and home. Life had not been easy for Joseph, and at this point in the story, he found himself in prison. Now, in this prison, Joseph wasn't alone. He was joined by two men, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker of Pharaoh. These two high-ranking officials had somehow ended up in the same place as Joseph. One day, both the cupbearer and the baker had strange dreams, and they were troubled because they didn't understand what these dreams meant. Dreams were a big deal back then. People believed they could be messages from the God. Joseph, who had some experience with dreams himself, noticed that these two men seemed troubled. He asked them what was wrong, and they told him about their dreams. The chief cupbearer had dreamt of a vine with 3 branches. The branches were full of grapes, and he squeezed the juice into Pharaoh's cup and gave it to him. Joseph interpreted this dream as a good sign. He said that in 3 days the cupbearer would be released from the prison and would go back to serving Pharaoh, just like before. The chief baker, however, had a different dream. He dreamt of 3 baskets full of bread and food, but instead of giving it to Pharaoh, birds were eating the food from the baskets. Joseph had to deliver some bad news. He said that unfortunately, in 3 days the baker would be hanged and he would not survive. Time passed and Joseph's interpretations turned out to be accurate. The cupbearer was released and returned to his important job, just as Joseph had predicted. But the baker faced the tragic end, just as Joseph had foretold. Now there are few things we can learn from this story in Genesis 40. First, Joseph showed kindness even when he was in a tough spot. He noticed that these two men were troubled by their dreams and he offered to help. It's a reminder that even in difficult times, we can still be kind and help others. Second, the story teaches us that dreams can be meaningful, and sometimes they can give us clues about the future. Joseph had a special gift of understanding dreams, and he used it to help these men. And finally, life can be full of surprises. The cupbearer's life took a turn for the better, while the baker faced a terrible fate. It reminds us that life can be unpredictable with its ups and downs. So, it's essential to stay humble and be prepared for whatever comes our way. In conclusion, Genesis chapter 40 is a story of kindness. It is a story of dreams, and it is a story of life's unpredictability. It reminds us to be compassionate and to pay attention to the signs around us, and stay humble as we journey through the twists and turns of life. Be as kind as you could be to your fellow. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you in abundance.